Hello, hello, hello. Hi there, hi there, hi Scorpio. Hi Scorpio, it's Christelle Martinette here with a reading for the new moon in Gemini period from the 1st to the June, from 1st of June to the 15th of June. And I'm using for you the Universal Fantasy Tarot. Lovely, lovely, lovely deck. And of course, my VERA SIBILLA. How are we going to, hello, ladies and gentlemen, how are we going to work that out? I'm going to do the new moon spread. I hope I didn't say full moon. Hi there. I hope I didn't say full and I meant new moon. Hello, Neurole and Suzanne. Hello from, I can't read it. It's because of my screen. Oh, from New Orleans. Yay! One of the few cities I haven't been to. I will be going. I really will be going. Maybe towards the end of the year, maybe the Thanksgiving period. So let's get the show on the road. Let's get the show on the road. One of the places I really wanted to go. If I go, I can only go for 4 days, really, during that period. I have a brief window of opportunity. Okay, so this will span, as I said, the first 2 weeks because the new moon cycle is the first 2 weeks. And Florida, I used to be a tour guide from New York City. And I used to take trips. My route was New York, Florida on the buses, or New York, Montreal on the buses, or New York, Atlanta on the buses. So I went up and down the East Coast at least 10 times. And I know Florida really well. So let's see what's in store for you, Scorpio. Let's see what's in store for you. I'll lay 5 cards, highlight those. I think you can see a bit of my table. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess you're not going to see all of them, but it's a full new moon spread. And I'll show you the cards. But first, let me lay the VERA SIBILLA. One has fallen out. I will keep that out and then pull the other 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm in a new setting. You can see lots of light. The ocean. All right. Cold ocean now. 1, 2, 3. So in the southern hemisphere. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very close to down under. I am down under. All right. So let me show you the first tarot card. Is the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords. Then I have the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful card that is. Now I've got the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords. And then the King of Wands. The King of Wands. And the last is the 6 of Coins. The 6 of Coins. See that? Yeah. All right. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the first card, the 7 of Swords, is the card that tells us what did you release in the full moon period, the full moon in Scorpio. And, well, what can we say? What did you release? And I'll show you the VERA SIBILLA cards on that, but I'm looking at a lot of animosity. You have stopped battling it out with yourself. You've left that behind. You released that. But not only animosity in relation to you yourself, animosity in relation to others, animosity in relation to those you work with, those that you go out with, those that you spend time with. And it's right after I put that card and I put down the VERA SIBILLA card, this flew out of the deck as I was mixing. And this is the Giovane Fanciulla who speaks to, she's the virgin of the deck. This is something new. And when that occurs, when you leave this animosity behind, of course, something takes its place, right? We're thinking, oh, well, something must take its place. And we'll see that. And what takes its place usually is another form. It's not animosity, but another form of interaction that is still a bit cutting, but it's more playful. We'll see. We'll see that. So now we have 3 cards that are highlighting that. And what did I just say? A little more playful. This is legititsa, the lightness of being. And then we have spervia, pride. And then we have the sacerdote, the priest. Now, look at the way these have come out. Now, what it tells me is that, of course, there's a change in the animosity, the way you interact. But it's still, in order to temper your pride, we have this sacerdote, the priest, who talks of hiding the pride. And what it comes out to is a form of chiding, a form of, in Italian, there's an expression that says, this is the joke of priests, how priests, it's like dark humor. Well, yes, this is an area, this new moon period for you is a sort of dark humor. And I'll give you an example. So you've changed the animosity, feeling animosity towards people, or feeling in a way that just doesn't suit you towards them. You needed something different. When I say it doesn't suit you, it suits you, not the other person. So maybe you were the good guy, you were happy-go-lucky, you wore your heart on your sleeve, and you didn't like the way that, you just didn't like that for yourself. And this dark humor plays out in joking, but joking that is funny to you, not funny to the other person. All right, it could be anywhere from playing, it's a prank, really, a prank on someone. It could be anything in the effect of taking, in front of someone's house, you remove their favorite plant and the person goes crazy for a couple of days. And for you, it's a prank. And they really worried. They were really worried. Or it could be, as the spectrum is very wide, or it could be doing some pranks that could be fake phone calls. It could be some form of stalking, but not you, someone else for you. It's giving that person or other people a bit of trouble for some reason and for your enjoyment, but you're, intentionally, there's the jury is still out whether you do it intentionally to pace them off, or whether you just do it for your enjoyment and, oh, come on, let them lighten up. Okay. Now, we also have a card that talks about what is happening now. And what is happening now is this Eight of Wands. And that is, of course, what is happening now. What did I just say? This new form of dark humor. And this is the falsità, the lies, the falsehood. And this also, however, the falsehoods, talks of this dark humor as well. Then what is emerging for you is the prison, prigione, and then allegria. Now we've got within the span, because this is the new moon cycle, the new moon in Gemini cycle, and it's going very fast, as the card, the Eight of Wands, does talk of very fast, and it's aimed towards the people you love the most, the pranks, being the prisoner of your own jokes, really, because you push away those people, and then coming out around the end of that cycle, happiness in the heart, because in some way you get out of it and you have other people, in some way you do something that will assure them that it isn't just a real prank, it isn't just a real prank, that you meant well. Excuse me. Now, then we have the card that talks about creating. What are you creating? Because the new moon cycle is all about creating. And we have the Two of Swords. Whoa, hallelujah, hallelujah. What is happening here? What is the Two of Swords? Look at that. She's blindfolded, and in almost all the tarot decks that I know, even the Eastern, from the Eastern world, there is a blindfold on a person and two swords. And the blindfold, it does tell us that you unwittingly, all right, the jury's coming back in, do what you do. but it is a standoff. It is a standoff. There are two crossing swords. Swords are drawn. And what your actions have caused is a situation of tension. Remember, though, that there is this happiness in the heart. The happiness in the heart that is slowly but surely coming out after the prisoner of your own mind and the difficulty, the trolling. I guess it could be called trolling other people. Well, I have to say that this new way of acting and you creating this standoff type of attitude really seems to me this. I have the messenger, messaggero. I've got il malato, the ill one, the sick one, and then viaggio, the movement, trip. Now, the swords are drawn. You draw the swords, and antagonism is there. Why? There's a decision to be made between you and the world. Scorpio, I'm seeing it as you against the world, you against the outside world. Obviously, all of these dynamics here have come about after a cycle of difficulty for you. And this is the way you come out. This is the way you act when you are in dire need, you're in dire difficulty, and you have no way of communicating it to the world. You don't. And sometimes, and you have donned the cloak, you've taken away that typical way of lashing out and arguing with people, and you don't do that. But what you do and started doing now is this not mockery, but this dark humor, this trolling other people. And it happens as this occurs because it's a communication. This is the way you can need to communicate. It's a need for you in a period that is of malaise for you. And it will, however, give way to something else. It does give way to something else. But you're doing this all on your own. People have a lot of difficulty in understanding what's going on. And those who know you most, let's say, those who know you most, Scorpio, know that this speaks of difficulty for you. But what happens is that they tend to stay away. Now we have the card that talks about what is emerging for you, and that is the King of Wands. This could be a female or a male fire sign, and that could be an Aries. It could be a Leo, or it could be a Sagittarius that emerges for you because they seem to be on the receiving end of all this type of activity, this type of dynamics, the way you are acting. But let's take a look at what it says, at what the Sibilla have to say. This is the mercante, the merchant. This is the militare, the military. And this is the stanza, the room that talks of communication soon that is coming up. New communication. Now, what brings you out of this process and makes it possible for you to speak and to communicate within a different vein with those people, those fire signs, or people who are close to you emotionally and passionately? Well, it is precisely for you some new energy that occurs, that comes about, that emerges, because this is what is emerging for you, related to your job, your activity, ladies and gentlemen, Scorpio friends. Wow. Tough. I have a lot of energy here. There's a lot of energy that's, churning. You have the churning changes in that belly of yours. Now, the last card here in your spread, Scorpio, relates to what it is that will help you achieve your goals. What brings your goals to fruition? And I have the 6 of coins. And the 6 of coins talks about generosity, and it talks about altruism. It talks about giving. It talks about abundance, in giving in abundance, of abundance. Now, that will make you achieve your goals. But what do I have here? I have warnings for you, warning signs. First, I have the male enemy, which is nemico, a person working against you. And remember, it was a warning. This is what's the matter with the me? denaro, which is the safe, which relates to established bonds, which relates to a relationship, a long-standing relationship. And the bitch, I call her female enemy, nemica. So you have, these are warnings. These are warnings. Whether you're a man or a woman, ladies and gentlemen, Scorpio friends, the warning is, if the generosity of spirit is not there, the difficulty will occur for you to realize your goals. And the consequences will be both males and females working against you. And when it plays out in relationships, because it is related to relationships, it will bring up other parties in your relationship. One or the other of you will be seeking other people. And it will only be, only in inverted commas, as a backfall, because something is rotten in Denmark here. Okay? So remember, be generous of spirit, Scorpio. Scorpio. Be generous of spirit. I hope this reading was of help to you, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll be back for the full moon readings. Do like and share my videos if you enjoy them, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to read all of those messages. Bye-bye. Until we read together again. Bye-bye.